So, hello, you're welcome to Opinion Sharers. My name is Paul, and for those who are used to following us on this platform, you would know that we've been away for at least two consecutive sessions, Saturdays especially, and that's because I have been very busy and uh, other people that we used to conduct the show also busy in one thing or the other, and that's why I am here alone tonight. So it's gonna be me. I am not gonna be having guests, and so I'm gonna discuss briefly the topic on the screen right now. That is Tinubu's Muslim ticket, and perhaps the role of Nigerian youths. So if you want to join me, please signify. I will provide opportunity for you to join the show. So a brief introduction to this is we've known that Tinubu, just like any other candidates in the upcoming election, they've submitted the list. I read from Punch newspaper earlier today that despite critics, despite the complaints of other Nigerians about the Muslim ticket, Tinubu has submitted his application form to INEC. So which means the deal is done. Uh, Perhaps there's nothing anyone can do anymore about it. And so that makes it an important issue. We need to critically, as citizens, we need to critically analyze what does this mean? What could this mean for the country? What could it mean for Tinubu and APC in the coming election? And especially, let's assume that Tinubu wins this election. Let's just assume that Tinubu wins this election. What? How is he going to earn the trust of the other people in the other religion, especially Christians? Because Nigeria is largely Muslim and Christian. And it has been argued. Some people say it's 50-50. Some people say it's 48, 52. Some people say majority believes it's almost 50%. So in a situation currently under Buhari's administration, who is APC's leader, there's been so many talk about APC planning to Islamize Nigeria, and the fact that Buhari has, majorly people in his cabinet are Muslim. All right. So if we have it as we have it now, if we're going to have it during the next coming election as we have it now in the National Assembly, it means you're going to have a president. That's assuming that Tinubu wins the election. You're going to have a president who is a Muslim. You have a vice president who is a Muslim. You have the National Assembly president who is a Muslim. And then you have a whole lot of the cabinets who are perhaps going to be Muslims. The Christian elders, especially from the north, where we are expecting Tinubu to have started his vice, they've been protesting. Many of them have resigned from the party, saying that they cannot allow that to happen. But regardless of those protests, Baba has gone ahead to submit his candidate's name to INEC. So, which means, he's just saying, damn the consequences. I would say it's like saying, that the Christians should go to hell or they should do whatever they think they can do. That's just me. He may not mean it to be like that, but for me, it's like even if there's not no reason for the Christians in Nigeria to be scared before. Let's assume that all the noise about Buhari being a fanatic or APC being a Muslim-dominated party, if there was no issue before, now this has confirmed that there is serious issue. During the past elections, some important elements in PDP were saying that they were accusing APC of the plan to Islamize Nigeria. So let's assume that that was just fallacy. It was just something they, cooked together just to rubbish APC. Now, the action that Tinubu has single-handedly taken, because a lot of people say he didn't consult widely, before making the choice. So this is like confirming it that, we're going to do it regardless. And it's a strategy that is, whether direct, I mean, it's deliberate. I want to believe it is deliberate, because you don't expect somebody like Tinubu to do something just because he wants to, or just because, just for nothing. So he wants to appeal to the northern Muslims, making them feel important, appealing to their emotions. And when you appeal to their emotions and get power, so how do you prove to the other religion that you will not put those people, you will not put their interest over and above of others, especially Christians, who are also a majority in Nigeria? So you are going to be, fighting against both the Muslims in the south, I mean the Christians in the south, and those in the north. And the northern Muslim they are already being persecuted. And I think everybody in the world would know that the Christians in the north, where they seem to be minority, they have been through so many things in the last few years. And so now what this man has done is, perhaps pour petrol in a fire that is already burning. And personally, I think it is not right. I think it is not it's not ideal. I think it is immoral. That's just me personally. Other people might they might disagree, and it's okay to disagree. And now there's been people in Tinubu's camp. They have been defense. They have been saying, "Oh, we should rise above that stage where we use where we lay emphasis on religion in terms as a nation, as Nigeria as a secular state." But the truth is Nigeria really a secular state? Now, does religion not matter in Nigeria? In the issue that concerns Nigeria, is religion not an important factor? The truth is that an average Nigerian today is a religious person. An average Nigerian is either a Muslim or is a Christian. And they are not just professing Christians or professing Muslims. Many Nigerians are fanatics, whether both Christians and Muslims. Many of them. And so you cannot, in that kind of society, you cannot say a religion is not important. You cannot ignore the importance of religion in that kind of society. I think it is wrong to say religion is not important, or to say, oh, it does not matter, we should we should rise above that. No. Especially when people are protesting, especially people in that party, when some of them, at least 2 or 3 people, are key figures in the party, are saying, no, this shouldn't happen. So if we know that, okay, maybe in the south, you can say the many southerners are moderate Christians, and moderate, I mean, you have moderate Muslims in the north, I mean, in the south, and say Tinubu would qualify to say is a moderate Muslim. But should Tinubu be playing that game, the religious game? Because they are the ones that are saying people should not lay emphasis on religion. Yet, you are the one that is actually playing the religious game to be able to curry people's favor, to be able to win vote from the north. So if you have elevated them so much, making them feel so important, when you eventually get power or win election, let's assume that Tinubu wins this election by the reason of this calculation, because it's all about winning election, right? And everybody wants to win. When you are in a race, your ultimate goal or your ultimate desire is to win, right? And so if you want to win, then you might want to do whatever it is that is required to be able to win. So let's assume that's what Tinubu is trying to do. He wants to win the race. He said he has never lost election, and that's true. The guy is a brilliant politician. But do you have to go to the extent of, creating something that would forever be in history? They always make reference to the time of Abiola, when Abiola and King Gibe contested. They were both Muslims. But Nigeria is evidently not as polarized as it is now. The contest of North versus South is not, perhaps it's not as pronounced as it is now. And okay, let's say the North and South has always been there, but the importance of Muslim being a Muslim or being a Christian has not been of a point of discussion as it is now. In the last few years, Nigerians have been, both Christians and Muslims have become not so friendly. Only maybe the Muslims the Muslims and Christians in the South here, they may not have been killing themselves or not have been fighting, but that does not mean that they've also been totally friendly too. I can remember when I was still living in Lagos, there are places where you will go to and you will hear an imam preaching, and he will be calling Christians' name. Okay, that's in Nigeria. That's even in the South. You would go to some churches and you will see pastors calling Muslims names. This is here in the South. They may not have been killing themselves, but that does not mean there has not been some form of enmity between them. In the South here, you have families. There are families where you have a Muslim and you have a Christian. I personally have a family friend where there are Muslims and there are Christians in the same family, bearing the same surname. So that is understandable here in the South. But when you go to the North, it's not the same thing. Recently, we heard of a university, a student of College of Education that was burnt in front of the higher institution in the North there. And so when you elevate religion to that point, you elevate the other religion, especially because what I believe that Tinubu is trying to do is to elevate the feeling of the average northern Muslim. They're already feeling like Nigeria belongs to them. They're already feeling like Nigeria is a Muslim country. They're already feeling like Nigeria, that, power belongs to them. Now you are deliberately doing that and saying, oh, you are so powerful, you are so important, and other people are not as important as you. Because there are other people in the North who qualifies to be a vice president in APC, but they were ignored. That, choosing a northern Christians probably would mean that he would have need to work more to be able to win the election. He would perhaps need to invest more to be able to win the election. Now you are directly appealing to the emotions of people that are already using this, religion against their neighbors. These are people who believe that somebody should die when you say something against their religion. Now you are making them feel so much important. Again, this is my perception. Some people might disagree with my perception, and it's okay. This is opinion sharers where I'm just having my opinions ahead. And it is okay for my opinion to not be important. I mean, for it not to be a popular opinion, especially in a democracy. Democracy is about the majority. Even if the majority are wrong, even if the majority does not know what they are doing, yeah, and we've seen example of that in Nigeria, especially. all right, where Buhari will win election twice, consecutively. That's the product, the an example of what the democracy could mean for a society or for a people. So I don't know how the kind of strategy that Tinubu would use to be able to appeal to the northern Christians, because northern Christians are far more religious than the northern, I mean, the southern Christians. That's what I've seen. Before leaving Nigeria, I've seen some northern, I mean, not some Christians move from the north to the south. You find out that they are far more fervent, they are far more religious than those of us who are Christians from the south. They believe, their belief system is far, it outweighs that of those of us who are Christians in the south. And so now you are saying that their feeling is not important. Now you are saying that that these people, they are non-entities. That's the implication of what Tinubu is doing. Because I've seen recently, because of this Tinubu issue, where people are saying there are states in the north where you can there are no not more, I mean, there are more population of Christians, even including Kaduna. There are people who are saying that there are so many Christians in the north. It's just that they don't participate in politics. They don't participate in election. One pastor, one professor from the north actually said, I watched the interview sometimes this week. I mean, this week, was saying that the thing is that there have been wrong teachings in the north among the Christians that discourages them from participating in elections, saying that the elections is not good. Elections is for non-Christians. Elections is for that election is not, participating in election does not good, is not good for Christians. That these are the kind of teachings that have made Christians in the north to not participate in election. But that gradually things are changing. So you are going to see people that are voting, deliberately, and voting in protest, where people should be voting, where we should be looking at credibility, when we should be looking at people who qualifies. Even though Tinubu said he chose Kashim because of credibility, or because of qualification, because of capacity, and yet somebody was saying that if you want to talk about capacity, you want to talk about credibility, you want to talk about quality rather than quantity, that before you choose, if you choose 10, that 8 of them would be Christians in the north. Yet, those people are not as qualified to Tinubu, according to him. And so we know that Tinubu is playing a religious card. And I think it's going to boomerang. I think it's going to have consequences that will affect Nigerians, not just him, not just APC. That is if they win the election, especially if APC wins the election, it's going to have serious consequences for Nigeria. But I cannot say I hope he doesn't win, because he might win. Because what he has done now is to massage the ego of the ignorant average northern Muslim. That, I believe, is what he has done now. Now, when you do that, what is going to happen? How are they going to, how are they going to treat their Christians? They're going to look in their face and say, we told you that we are more superior than you? Are they going to still, see themselves as equal? And so, in my own wisdom, in my own little wisdom, I think that all Nigerians should condemn this. Everybody from the south should condemn this, even though he may have submitted the the nomination to INEC, even though he might win the election, because I think we need peace in Nigeria. We need peace. And one of the ways that we need peace is to carry people along, carry Muslims along, carry Christians along equally. Buhari has so much ruled Nigeria in the last 7 years, such that Christians are feeling like they are feeling threatened. Now, a Tinubu from the south, who has traveled wide, who is well educated, whom people believe is a master planner, is an intelligent person, whom we believe would have more people in his camp who are more intellectual, who have more intellectual capacity. Yet they have gone so low, so low to the extent of capitalizing on religion. This is like, doing whatever, anything to win the elections. And I think it is wrong. As much as you would see some people in the South who would vote for him, but I want to believe that a lot of people would be voting against him. And that maybe let's assume that maybe he probably would even be a good candidate. Let's assume, But then people are now going to be voting against him. I pray that people will be voting against Tinubu just for this purpose. I mean, just because of this one reason, So I am still here on Opinion Sharers, and in case you are watching me, I want to say thank you. Usually this is a talk show where we have 2 to 3, 4 people discussing issues, but tonight all of our people who are supposed to join are busy, and so that's why I am the only one here today. And since we've not been here for a while, I think 2 Saturdays consecutively we've been absent. That's why I decided that I would move on today and do the show regardless of the fact that it is only me. Pastor Mukolu said, good job. Thank you, Pastor. Tunde says, if we treat 2023 election just the way we did in the past, let me put it on the screen so that viewers can see. Okay, now it has covered my face. Said, if politicians still believe that it is all about winning the seat, then Nigeria may be cruising towards a terrible sunset. Exactly, Tunde, that it is all about winning. That's what Tinubu has done. That Nigeria is all about Emilio Khan. It is my turn. It is me, and I must win by all means. And that's why you are unnecessarily, dangerously appealing to the emotions of the northern Muslim. And I think it is completely wrong. It is absolutely wrong. It is not unethical. It is immoral. This is just me. Some other people may disagree, but I think it is highly unethical for him to have done that. Deliberately. There are Christians in the north who are persecuted by the day. There are reports that's indicating that Christians in the north are being marginalized. They are being killed. Their land is being seized and taken. Their properties are taken. If there's any small thing now, you see that the Christians in the north, the people will start burning their churches. Their churches, burning their shops, and burning their farmlands. Yet, in that kind of environment, in that kind of society, chose to elevate the other. It is wrong. That's just my own perception, and I'm sure that there are people who would also agree with me that this is a wrong thing. It just makes I think it brings the aspect of Tinubu that wants to take power or win election by force. Anyway, this is just my own perception. And I said earlier that if he wins this election, if in case Tinubu wins this election, how is he going to deal with the Christians who feel left out, because already people already feeling left out in even people in his party who are Christians, they're already feeling left out. So the majority of Nigeria, or at least like 50% of the Nigerian populace, will feel left out regardless of what you do. That's, I mean, that's just the way I think it's gonna be, that people are gonna feel left out. Tosin, thank you, Jerry. You run away today. Nice job, boss. Please, let's do the topic again. Yeah, okay, we can do it again where you come. No problem. So this is just me. Normally, I'm the one that is asking the question here on this show. Just for those who are joining the show, or who might be seeing this video later, it's usually me asking questions to the guest. But tonight, all the guests are absent. So since they are all absent now, it is time for me. It's an opportunity for me to air my views, to speak on behalf of the platform tonight. So thank you for watching. Thank you for viewing. I think one last thing that I have on my agenda here is the question of what is the population of Christians in Nigeria? What is the population of Muslims in Nigeria? Because now this is being called to question. People are now asking questions. You know, if you believe that, okay, there are the majority Christian Muslims are in the north, where is the data? Where is it? Do we have data that actually prove that there are more Muslims in Nigeria? Or we just assume, you know, you just assume that, oh, there are, because this whole issue of Tinubu Muslim ticket has actually, given me the opportunity to listen to some people, some politicians from the north who are Christians that I never even know that they are Christians, even in APC. And many of them are asking questions. How do you show, what is the assurance? What is is there a fact that confirms that there are more Muslims in Nigeria? I'm talking about both the south and the north. We don't have fact. We don't have figures. We don't have data that can prove it. But then it has been, when you emphasize a lie too much, when you keep repeating a lie, repeating and repeating and repeating, it becomes like true. So, and I'm sure, I don't even know why we didn't have a census recently. We are supposed to have census. Census should be every 10 years. I guess the census in Nigeria now, maybe the last one probably was almost 15 or 20 years ago. Thank you, Mr. Ima. Thank you. Say good job, my brother. I wish both APC and PDP lost the coming election. The Obi-centric people, Abi. You people who are supporting Obi, let's hope so. Maybe this decision that by Tinubu is probably going to be an opportunity for Obi to cash in or cash out. Is it cash out? Yes. People like Obi might use the opportunity to cash out. But we keep watching. We keep seeing. We keep monitoring what's going to happen. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is the anger of the Nigerian youths. Okay, when you go to Twitter, 2 weeks ago, I have noticed that, especially, this is also common among the obedient people, supporters. Because the majority of his supporters on social media are young people, and I believe also on ground we've seen some videos. They are mostly young people. But beyond that, because I don't want to make it about the Obi supporters, beyond that, I feel like the average Nigerian young person is angry about what Nigeria has become, about the fact that there are very few opportunities for them to grow, about the fact that the opportunities are shrinking. Okay, maybe 50, 60 years ago, if you have O level, ordinary O level, you might be able to secure a job in Nigeria. But now, there are people who have masters. There are people who have, first degree, millions of them. Yet there are no jobs. I've heard that there are people that are graduates, sciences, STEM. Yet they are walking the streets of various cities and villages in Nigeria jobless, with very few opportunities. And to even graduate in Nigeria, you must have been through hell, and come back. Imagine you now finish all of that, and then this is the kind of politicians that we have, the kind of leaders, not just politicians. They when there was, let me not say looted, it was not looted, it was bombed, and people killed, and terrorists escaped from Kuje prison. Our president could not even come to the TV and say, answer questions from journalists. About 40 people were killed in a church in Owo. President Buhari did not come to say, let me answer. I think Nigerian youth have reason to be angry. They have reason to be frustrated, to feel frustrated. And I said sometimes ago that the older generation Nigerians don't seem to understand. And some of my reasons for saying this is not far-fetched. If you go to if you are a user of Twitter Nigeria, you see that anything politics, that's where it is happening. That's where they discuss it. I've seen Nnamani being dragged on social media. Okay, I've seen Otedola being dragged on social media, especially on Twitter. Now, and I'm of the opinion that these people, maybe it's not their fault. They just don't understand the feeling of the average young people. See, if you have not been through my situation, you don't understand my story. And so, and we can understand that this is two different generations, or three generations even, because some of the things that people of my generation who are 45 and between 45 and perhaps 35, some of the things that we can understand, some of these Gen Z people, they don't understand it. They don't send anybody. You want them to suffer. You want them to endure. Many of these young people they don't want to endure. We did not have access to the internet when we were their age. So, but they have access to the internet now, which means they can see how life is elsewhere. A Gen Z, somebody who is about 20, 25 years old now, they have a smartphone, so they understand how people in UK, how they are living. They understand how people in America, how they are living. They understand how people in Asia, how people in Dubai, how they are living. Before, when I was 20 years old, I did not even know there was nothing like internet. I only know what's happening in my vicinity. In order for me to know what's in one particular place, we were watching NTA. NTA that we go and be tweaking and turning the poll for us to be able to see what's happening in NTA. So whatever it is that the government told us, that's what we know, or whatever the media house told us, that's what we know. So if you are comparing that generation with this generation that have access to everything, before anything happens, somebody already posts it on Facebook. Before something happens, somebody already posts it on Twitter. So they have access to information, global information. They can compare and contrast. So you can't expect them to endure some of the things that our parents endure. And that's why I think there is lack of understanding. There's a lack of understanding between the generation. Then there is and there's no understanding that, okay, there's difference. When there's difference, we need to acknowledge, okay, that there is difference. People were saying, okay, some people are saying Nnamani did very good when he was a governor. Other people are saying we can't even see what he did because he was governor many years ago. So some of these children were youths. They were very young then, so they didn't know. People celebrated that their salaries were paid. But now people are getting to understand that, okay, if I work, you pay my salary. It is my right. Yet our parents, our grandparents, they celebrated that their own salary was paid. But now people are saying it is my right. You didn't do anything for me. You make road. It is your job. I'm not supposed to thank you for making road or providing electricity, which they have not done. You know, Mr. Iman said, honestly, APC should be ashamed to ask Nigerians to vote for them after all the calamity this present government has brought upon the country. I agree with you. So that's why some of those northern elders who are Christians in APC, that's what they're saying, that they have a very difficult market to sell. That how do I go to my people and say vote for these people? It's enough that Buhari has failed. Now you are now saying that their own emotion, you are now saying their own interest. Don't forget that politics is about interest. You are not saying their own interest is not important. Even if the Christian is not going to work, even the Christian is not going to do anything, but the fact that he's a Christian, they feel like he represents them. So in community, like I studied community development, in community, there is the need for we feeling. We feeling means that I feel like I am part of this community. I feel like I am important. I feel like my voice is important. I feel like I can, like other people feel like me. They feel my pain. So when I'm crying, they cry with me. When there's things to rejoice about, they rejoice with me. So that's what we call we feeling. So now, what Tinubu has done again is saying that you Christians in the North, you are not so important. That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but then it has happened, and we will be watching what's going to happen. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So thank you for watching, and thank you for those who have commented. I really appreciate you. And I'm going to be rounding up now, especially because it's just me and I don't want to be repeating myself. So next week, hopefully, the team will be back, and we will all have opportunity to share our opinions and discuss very valuable issues again as it happens, as it unfolds, either in Nigeria or anything that happens to Africans globally. That's what we're interested here on Opinion Sharers. So thank you. I cannot thank you enough. So please help us share this video so that other people would be able to see it and contribute their quota to it. And if you would like to feature on this show, please do reach out to us. You can just drop a comment, or you can send a direct message on this page, and then we will get it. If you send a message, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So if you drop message from any of these platforms, I will respond and get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much once again. I'm going to be closing it now. So see you next Friday. Next Saturday rather. It's every Saturday we are here. Thank you, Pastor Mukolu. Thank you. Alade Ukomo, my brother, thank you. Citizen Tosin, thank you. We hope you'll be here next week. Mr. Ima, thank you very much. Mr. Ima actually sent me a message wondering what happened now. Opinion Sharer has not been on live for a while. Thank you, bro. God bless you. See you next week.